How good are Herbert Kretzmer's English translations of the original French lyrics of Les Misérables? Pretty good. In fact, they were so awe-inspiring that some of the songs were translated back into French to be more similar to the English versions. Here are examples of Kretzmer's translations, adaptations really, from three famous Les Mis songs, along with my analysis. The French version of Castle on a Cloud emphasizes Cosette's fantasy of being rescued by a prince. It has a playful rhyme scheme, outwardly AABB, but with the last three words of the last verse being a scrambled version of those from the first line, while retaining the meaning. Mon prince est un chemin déjà. My prince is already on his way. Je ne sais pas comme il sera. I do not know what he'll be like. Mais je sais qu'il viendra demain. But I know he'll come tomorrow. Mon prince est déjà en chemin. My prince is on his way already. Kretzmer, though, seems to have realized that children in misery are more likely to dream of a mother than a prince. So he wrote, "There is a castle on a cloud. I like to go there in my sleep. Aren't any floors for me to sweep? Not in my castle on a cloud." With its ABBA rhyme scheme and a fantasy of a life without endless chores. He goes on, of course, to write of a lady all in white who cares for Cosette. It's just a more charming song than the French original, which the team putting together the updated French version realized when they rewrote the song as une poupée dans la vitrine, meaning a doll in the window. C'est une poupée dans la vitrine. It's a doll in the window. Qui me regarde et qui s'ennuie. That looks at me, bored. Je crois qu'elle se cherche une maman. I think it's looking for a mother. Et moi je veux qu'elle soit ma fille. And me, I want it to be my daughter. The song has become sweet, albeit pitiful, and more reflective of what a suffering child might dream of. Now the first part of I Dreamed a Dream. Alain Boublil's original starts with a deep downer, declaring in the second line that life has killed Fantine's dream, using one of the strongest metaphors possible. It's a sentiment that only comes at the end of Kretzmer's version, and much more gently. Here's the French original. J'avais rêvé d'une autre vie. I dreamed of another life. Mais la vie a tué mes rêves. But life killed my dreams. Comme on étouffe les derniers cris. Like one smothers the final cries. D'un animal que l'on achève. Of an animal one finishes off. Whereas Kretzmer starts on a hopeful note, as is appropriate for a song about shattered dreams. I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I prayed that God would be forgiving. After Les Mis racked up success after success around the world, the show's retranslation into French kept Kretzmer's images of life passing like a dream and the sense of hope and optimism. J'avais rêvé d'une autre vie. I dreamed of another life. Comme ma vie passait comme un rêve. When my life passed like a dream. J'étais prête à toutes les folies. I was ready for everything crazy. À toutes les passions qui se lèvent. For any passion that might come up. Finally, the anthem, Do You Hear the People Sing, was much less stirring in the original. It's got a few simple rhymes and references to images like rebellious wine and the knight's mask, but ultimately falls flat. Listen. À la volonté du peuple, by the will of the people, et la santé du progrès, and the health of progress. Remplis ton cœur d'un vin rebelle, fill your heart with a rebellious wine. Et à demain, ami fidèle, and tomorrow, my loyal friend. Nous voulons faire la lumière, we want to make the light. Malgré la masque de la nuit, despite the night's mask. Pour illuminer notre terre, to light up our land, et changer la vie, and change life. It's vague and boring. Now listen to Kretzmer's thrilling, vivid, poetic language. Do you hear the people sing, singing the song of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Kretzmer's version was so compelling that the last 4 lines were also retranslated into the French version currently performed in Francophone countries, keeping the images of beating hearts and beating drums. Si ton cœur bat aussi fort, if your heart beats just as strongly que le tambour dans le lointain, as the distant drum, c'est que l'espoir existe encore, it's that hope still exists, pour le genre humain, for the human race. I hope this exercise of translations, reinterpretations, and reverse translations has shown you the subtleties of the translation process, but more importantly, the epic contribution that Herbert Kretzmer made to the success of the show around the world. Please like and subscribe. Marquee, the Broadway Mavens Weekly Blast, comes out every Thursday. It includes piano talks, news, reviews, videos, Broadway blasts, quizzes, and more. Get Marquee for free and learn about all classes and projects at thebroadwaymaven.com. And here's a Les Misérables playlist.